Well, there you have it. The trip from Las Cruces, New Mexico to Wesley Chapel, Florida, which if you don't know where it is, just about 25 minutes north of Tampa, is complete. Got here Sunday night, probably around 5 o'clock. Weather, the drive, everything was outstanding. Car ran like a champ, no issues, no problems. 67 Pontiac Catalina 400, 4-speed, power steering, power brakes, manual windows, power top. Every light works on the car, every button, every switch, every whistle. No issues, no problems. Even the backup lights work, which, as any of you car guys know, old 4-speeds, they never work. Unless you go through the timer, reconnecting it, put the switch in, make sure the wiring's right. Usually once the tranny's been out of the car 2 or 3 times for clutches over the years, wires break, they get cut, they get forgotten to put on, whatever. We had a great time. So what's next for the car? Well, here's the deal. The car is for sale. It's going to be advertised. I'm going to leave it down here in Wesley Chapel, Florida. Actually, it's going to sit in Port Richey at my brother's shop, put away, covered. And then in 3 weeks, there is an auction in Punta Gorda, Florida, Premier Auto Auctions. Weekend of the 16th, 17th, 18th of March. I'll be back down for that. The car is going to get consigned over there. Actually, it already is consigned over there. I did that today. And the car is going to go up for auction. But it is for sale prior to the auction. If I get it sold within a week of the auction, I'll pull it from the auction, the car will sell. Other than that, it's just going to go to the auction. The trip itself was really good. You know, I had a good time. 1,750, 1,760 miles. Started in Las Cruces, New Mexico. Flew into El Paso. Well, let me back this up. I found the car 2 weeks ago online. Spoke to the gentleman about it 3 or 4 times on the phone. Got a couple good pictures on the car, but not perfect pictures. But the car looked good, you know, and you can kind of read between the lines that it was a good car. The guy was a car guy, and we've crossed paths, but we never knew each other. Barrett Jackson, Meekum, some of the other big auctions. So I fly into El Paso, he picks me up, go to his house. He's got a dozen cars, all nice stuff, nice shop. And as soon as I saw the car, I was like blown away. Completely exceeded expectations. I said to him, I said, Frank, I said, this car's nicer than you told me. He goes, well, it was a nice car. You know, the guy was very, you know, conservative and you know, didn't over-describe, but he definitely overachieved. So I got no complaints there, and that's the best way to do it. You know, if any of you guys have bought a car long distance, you know, and you get pictures, and sometimes the pictures look good, and sometimes the pictures are retouched. You fly halfway across the country, go look at the thing, and the thing's just a POS, you know, and you're really disappointed. You put the time, the effort, the hours in, you know, and now you're stuck on the other side of the country. If you were going to drive the car back or wherever, now you got to deal with getting an airfare, flight, whatever, and go home. I've been in that position once. Out of probably 40 cars, at least, I've bought and driven back to either Florida, or I've driven to back into New York, or I've driven to Arizona, or I've driven to California. I had one car I walked away from. And fortunately, it was in Seattle, Washington. I was 10 minutes from the airport. I flew in, looked at the car for 10 minutes, left, got back in an Uber, got back to the airport, went back down to Phoenix. It's the only time it ever happened. Other than that, car's always been as expected, better than expected, occasionally slightly less than expected, but enough that I would still buy the car. Not the case with this car. Aero straight, rust free, Western car, desert car, mechanically sorted out, smooth, quiet, 75 miles an hour down the road all day long, okay? No vibration in the shifter, no vibration in the driveline. Straight as an arrow when you let go of the wheel. Here's the biggest thing. Now, this car's 52 years old. Motor's been rebuilt, who knows how long ago. He didn't know, I didn't know. But based on the way it fires up sounds, it's probably only got 8 or 10,000 miles on the rebuild, maybe less. The car did not use a drop of oil, did not leak a drop of oil. I had to sit in my mom's driveway and garage. There isn't a drop on the floor. Now, that's pretty good. Now, obviously it's been rebuilt, probably one piece neoprene seal on the rear main, which is the biggest thing that these old cars always do. Obviously the old rope seals leak like a sieve, and we know that. This thing didn't leak a drop. Even the tranny didn't leak a drop, or the rear diff. So it's a tight car. Front end's been done, brakes have been done, bushings, tires are new. I would have no reservation giving this thing another oil change, jumping back in it, and driving it 2,000 miles back to Phoenix, because that's about what it is to Phoenix, about 2,000 miles from here. Currently, and I put this out there, I'm looking for a station wagon. It could be a Pontiac Chevrolet, Mopar, for another cross-country trip. So a couple guys hit me up when I put the post up about it, and there's a 67 Chevelle wagon in Oklahoma. I'm waiting to get in touch with the guy. And that may be the next ride. And I'm trying to maybe plan that for 2 weeks, where I got to go back home after next weekend. I got to come back here in 2.5, 3 weeks. Maybe I'll fly to Oklahoma, buy that car, and drive it back down to Florida. Who knows? My mom thinks I'm nuts. My brother thinks I'm nuts. But it's what I do. What can I tell you? I like to drive. I like old cars, and that's what they're meant to do. You know, I've had the trailer queens. I've had the show cars. I've had the cars that went on and off, went in and out of an enclosed trailer to a show and back in the garage. Those days are long gone, man. I'm way over that shit. I don't mind buying full-blown nut and bolt restored show cars and just drive the balls off them. That's just the way it is. You clean them when they're done. You know, these things are meant to be driven. We're not getting any younger. I'm going to be 59 in 2 months, and that's it. I am in the car business. I've owned probably 6,500 to 6,700 cars. I've owned everything I've ever wanted, pretty much. And somebody told me a saying a long time ago I never forgot. You know, you can't own them all, but you can own them all one at a time. And that's what I've done. So I see something I want, I buy it, I drive it, I use it, I get rid of it. A couple cars I keep. I got a few of my own cars that are personal that I keep. And I turn them over eventually. But the Catalina road trip was a phenomenal ride. I appreciate all the comments, kind words, pictures, and messages, and everybody, you know, threw out there along the way for the last couple days. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. And that's a wrap, man. Should be going to auction in a couple of weeks. I'll post the info up on the auction. If anybody's interested, you can bid in person or bid online. It's Premier Auction Group out of Punta Gorda, Florida. Kenny Cruz and Brian Marshall, two great guys, good friends of mine, known them for 30 years. You know, do a lot of business with them. And that is about it. So, I'm going to wrap it up here. I want to say thank you for traveling with me on this journey. I hope you enjoyed it. I appreciate any comments. And again, I am looking for a wagon. 60 to 72 GM, Ford, Mopar, preferably GM or Mopar, preferably GM, and preferably Chevrolet or Pontiac. So if I have to really narrow it down. But I'm open to anything. Probably the peak wagon, if I had to have one, 62 Chevrolet or 69 Kingswood Estate. In a Pontiac, I'd like to find a Le Mans wagon. You can't find them. 65 to 69. They're just non-existent. The ones that are out there either need to be restored or they're really expensive. Chevelle wagons are out there. They're reasonable, but they're a little bit more common. I like oddball stuff. And the hardest thing is trying to find something with a stick. But I did find a 67 Chevelle wagon, 4-speed, small block, that I'm waiting on more info on, and that may be the body. So we'll see what happens. That's all I got to say. So, again, thanks for taking a ride with me. We'll do it again, and we'll see you guys soon. Happy motoring.